Hey guys, Patrick here. Um, I'm talking to you admins about how to configure the new approval levels that we've recently updated in HR Hub. Now, you can see here on the approval levels configuration page, which is within, if you go to maintenance and then company, see here, uh, you can see we've set another tab in the company configuration page that's for approval levels. Now by default, on top you see the default approval level policy, and that's going to be company-wide and the default for all employees. Below that you can manage exceptions by department or by employee. Now on the default setting, the first thing you'll see is sequential versus parallel, and we've added tooltips. Sequential means that each approver receives the approval request, and only after previous approvers have dealt with it will they get to deal with it. Parallel means when somebody makes a request, it goes to all approvers in the chain, and anybody can approve it at any time. It still needs to be approved or denied by the final approver in order to be closed, but everybody gets it at the same time. Now I'm going to run through 3 scenarios which will show you all the different things that you can do in these approval levels. So first thing to note is these approval levels will apply to leave, OB, OT, undertime, schedule adjustment, and certificate of attendance. So all the attendance requests. It excludes loans, which for now are still under the reports to category, as the system has always been. So you can see we've rolled out this change, but it hasn't affected anything because by default, the first level is just following the org chart, which is that, you guys know the reports to box on the employee profile. There's somebody set there and all the approvals go to that. That's the first level by default, so you can't edit it here. So this is the default setting. Now, first I'm going to set up an approval chain, and I'm going to say I actually want this to be 3 levels deep. So after the first approver, it goes to one more, and then following that, another one. So let's say in the second level, I'm going to say it's still going to follow org chart, which means it goes to this employee's, from the person who files it, it goes to their reports to, and then it goes to that person's reports to, okay? So we're going to do follow org chart, but I'm going to also add a parallel approver. So that means it's a bit different from the parallel rule up here. It means that when somebody makes a request, after the first level has dealt with it, it goes to 2 people. And in this case, I'm going to say department head. So in this case, after the employee files an approval or files an attendance request, it follows the org chart, which is the reports to of that employee. Then it goes to that person's reports to and also the department head, and either of them can deal with it and it'll be considered dealt with. And so then after that, it'll go to the next level. And in this case, I'm going to say let's send it to a specific department head and human resources. I mean, I could select any department, but let's select human resources, and I want this to be a notify only. What that means is this level doesn't have any actions to take. They're simply going to get an email letting them know how this attendance request was dealt with by the 2 levels below them. Okay, and that's how attendance requests are going to work for our whole company. Now in this case, however, I might want to do a few exceptions for departments or employees. So for department, let's set up a new approval rule for our IT department. You can see here I've been playing around, so I have a few exceptions by department already. One thing to note, guys, if you're going to leave this page, make sure to save the rule that you've started here. So let's go down here and hit save, and that'll update our default approval rules. So are you sure you want to save? All requests submitted before you hit save will follow the old setting. That's okay. So let's save so that all new requests are now following the new approval level rules. All right, let's manage by department. So let's add a department. And now we're going to select the IT department. Now for IT, I want it to, it has to follow the org chart by default. And then I want it to actually follow org chart for the second level. And then another level, I'm just going to add department head. So in this case, it just goes from the employee to their direct supervisor, and then to that person's supervisor, and then to the IT department head. Okay, and I'm just going to save that. Okay, so now if you'll see, managed by department, now there's 4 departments here instead of 3. And if you see IT, it has 3 levels. So finally, let's set up an approval rule for an employee. So you can see here, again, I've been playing with it. Let's add another employee. And I will search for an employee here. Let's search for Tiffany. Oh, I see Tiffany Malilin. And now that I have her, I'm going to set up an approval rule for her. And it's just going to be following the org chart and then following the org chart again. And that's going to be it for her. That's all I need. So I'm going to save this. And now you can see I have my default rule. I have my managed by department. And then it used to be 1 employee listed here. And now you can see it's 2. And if I expand this, you can see I have Alex and Tiffany with their custom rules. I'm going to save this one more time just to be sure. Best practices, you know. And now we are done configuring approval rules for the whole company. So it's as easy as that. You guys obviously have a good relationship with us, so just reach out if you have any questions, and we'll be happy to help. All right, have fun. Cheers.